Hello. We're live, hopefully. How you all doing? I've just realised I've made a mistake. So I need to fix something before we can launch this. So there might be a little bit of a troubleshooting before we actually get this released. But oh well, that's all part of the fun and games. I'll say a quick hello. Yes, I was scrambling around, Simon, as per usual. Nice to see you, mate. Who else we got? Sounds fine. There's pitch and sound. Amazing. Hello, hello, hello. Hello from, who we got? Joan63. Hello from Finland. Hello. Hello from New York. Dr. Orion. Nice to see you. Mr. Ian Dawkins. Hello and thank you for your kind words earlier. I spotted those. What's up, Do Kitty? Ralph, Cola. You do a lot for the community and some of your older videos remain very valuable. Thank you. We've got some more coming. I've had a really productive couple of days, actually. Just planning content. I sort of lost drive for a little bit. Lost creativity. I didn't really know what I was doing. But we've got it back, and we've got some really fun stuff coming up, which is cool. Let me just have a drink. Hello, hello, hello. Hello from Pakistan. Kalsa Studio. Philip. How are you doing? I'm very well, thank you. Really well, actually. I've got a beer, so let's have a quick beer. Why not? How many of you are in here? Quite a few. Hello, everyone. Nice to see you all. Greetings from Thailand. Amazing. Amazing stuff. So, while we're here, I always spend way too long just, saying hello to everyone, which I like to do. But sometimes I spend too long saying hello. Oi, Adrian, how you doing? Jay from San Francisco. Hello, hello, hello. So, the reason we're here is because last week, if you missed it, I made a... Oh, someone just said they're from the Isle of Wight. My mom lives on the Isle of Wight. So, hello. Say hello to Al's mom while you're over there. So last week I released a little tutorial just showing you how to do a timer. It wasn't particularly new. I've actually shown that in the past, just using the time code feature. There was lots of people that wanted to be able to do actual milliseconds rather than frames. So I had a little play and I've created what I'm simply calling Magic Timer. I've called everything Mauer. I've called everything Magic previously, so, might as well keep calling it Magic, even though it's not really that magic. But I thought it was all wrapped up and ready to go, and I've noticed an error, a little mistake. So we're going to have a quick look at that, which I don't usually do live, but there you go. We'll do it anyway, because why not? What's up, everyone else? How you all doing? Manos, HR Creatives, Mike Foster. I don't know how you pronounce that name. Drydecker, maybe. Brendan, hello, hello, hello. So... switch over. See if I can pop my face in the corner as well while I'm here. Don't know if you want to see my face, but probably should have set all this up, shouldn't I? Oh well. It is what it is. Back again. Talks amongst yourselves, Oh, Raymond. Won't be able to join, but have a great life. Thank you. Thank you very, very much. That's all very, very kind of you. Chocolate man from Thailand. Hello, mate. I always like to see you in here. How you doing? Your help has been critical. That's cool. Thank you very much. Right, let's just... You can ignore my face. You just have to listen to me. So, let's just see if we can fix this really, really quickly. For those that are interested or don't really care, don't really want to see any of this, this is all the fancy stuff in the background, which makes my presets work. I know exactly what I've missed. I just need to find the bit. which I believe is somewhere in here. Which narrows it down, doesn't it? Bob, bob, bada, bada, bob. Style text 2 value. It is the style text 4. It's that one. And then, obviously, I didn't name things particularly well, as you can see. If the override, then that one needs to be. Oh, let's just test it and see what works. It's not actually the end of the world. So if I can't get this working in, you know, a couple of minutes, we'll bin it off. And there is a workaround that kind of works anyway. So we'll see what we can do. But, you know, this is different. Having you all along, I can look at the chat while we're doing this sort of thing. It's kind of fun, actually. Nothing like a bit of pressure. Let's get rid of them. Let's start fresh on. Doing this. Not in the way I usually would, but it'll work. Oh, it's not red yet. Ah, now it's red. Why are you red? Why are you red? The problem is I've hidden all this, so I can't actually do it within Resolve unless I unhide everything, which I could do, but, you know, I'm being lazy. Still red. It's probably something to do. You know what? Let's just not bother. Because I don't think it's that... It's not really that pivotal anyway, to be honest. I don't think. Let's just do... I shouldn't need the dot value, but maybe I need the dot value because I'm combining more than one. Oh, ooh, let's have a look. Hey, all right, there you go, fixed. Sweet. That's a good guess. That's a good guess, wasn't it? What do I wish? Could go horribly wrong. It's sunny in South Wales. Yeah, I mean, we've had some nice weather, haven't we, recently, which is always a good change. Have you thought about VS Code as an editor? No, I've just got used to using the Text++, to be honest. Or Notepad, whatever it's called. It kind of works. I don't do a huge amount with it, to be honest, but it does what I need it to do. So, yeah, it's one of those. Which programming language are they using? It's Lua, but it's sort of DaVinci Resolve's slightly modified version, I believe. But yeah, I can't fully read it, to be honest. I can't just write that from scratch. I have to build stuff within Resolve, export it, and then I know enough to be able to tweak it, but I couldn't just sit down and write one of those. It'd be a horrible, horrible mess if I tried. So let's just test this. Give me a second. You can have both of us. Look, there you go. Hey. Dee. So now, that's one. Blue Peter style. That's one I prepared earlier. Get rid of that. Go away. I've got too many things open. Replace that. DRFX isn't there. Good. I know this wasn't exactly what we originally had in mind when I started this live, but here you go. These things happen. Let's just get rid of that. Someone asked how the 4090 is doing. Good, thank you. It's no 4080 I've got rather than a 4090. But yeah, it's good. It does me really, really well indeed. Josh Haynes, how you doing, Josh? Nice to hear from you. Josh has got his own YouTube channel. Feel free to pop a link in there, mate, if you want to. Doing great stuff. I haven't seen much of you actually there recently. I did see something. You were talking about some lights. Can't remember when that was. But anyway. Wrong one. Right. Keep your fingers and toes crossed that this works. Otherwise, it's going to be a very, very boring stream. Resolve is loading. We have our little, do you want to install the magic timer? We do. So let's open this up. Titles, MrAlexTech, magic timer. Hasn't crashed yet, so that's good. We'll lengthen this out, hit play. Hey, we have a timer. Simple. Now, how this works, let's get into it and talk about it. I'll do a proper video for the actual channel. When I actually, you know, you guys can have this, but there you go. But I'll do a separate video. But it's a real simple timer, exactly like the previous one. Off we go. We've got all of the Text Plus. Move me out of the way. We've got all of the usual Text Plus controls within here. So you can go, you know, change the font, do whatever you want. But there's a little timer tab. We give that a click. And we have the same controls that we kind of had before. So if we want to turn off the hours, we can. If we want to turn off the minutes, we can. If we want to turn off seconds, we can. And then we've got milliseconds. So the hard bit for this actually was just turning frames into milliseconds. So, but this is frames. So it's going up to 100. And as you can see, this is, I think I'm at a 30 frames per second timeline. Yeah, a 30 frames per second timeline, but this is going up to 100 frames. Then I've put some additional stuff in here. So that was the main thing people wanted, which we've now fixed. But we've also got a start seconds, which was something you couldn't do before. Well, you could actually, but you'd have to figure it out manually. This is just in seconds. So if you want your timer to start at 10 seconds, you type in 10, hit go, and it just goes. Off you go. You've got a denominator, which I believe is the right word. So basically this is obviously 100th of a second. If you wanted this to be more accurate and you wanted a 1000th of a second, you could pop that in there. And now you've got 1000th of a second. It'll look more, accurate with a higher frame rate, obviously. So 60 frames, this will look a bit different. It will do its best. Set that back. And then there's also a speed. So if we set this to be 15 seconds, this magic timer, but we set our speed to 2, this will run twice as fast. Simple. So at the end, it'll actually be 1 frame short, as they always are. Make it 1 extra frame. There you go. It's 15 seconds in length, but it counts to 30. But you can go as high as you like. It does eventually break. I'm at 30 frames, so it will break at some point. But we can go up to like 30 times real speed if we wanted to. And off we go. It'll just work. Oh, it breaks the milliseconds. I guess that's just too quick to show, probably. You can still do all the previous stuff that I showed you how to do in the main video, which is you can right click, you just turn it into a compound, and then you can do some more stuff with it if you need it to be sped up even more. Red Axe have just asked, can you reverse? No. I tried to figure that out, but I couldn't figure that out. This is basically built off the original time code, what's it called, modifier. So I couldn't fundamentally change it. I've just used what was there to give you more tools. I did look into reversing it, but I couldn't figure it out. I'd need to spend a bit more time if I wanted to do that. And maybe if I rebuilt it from scratch, I probably could, but that'd be quite a lot of work, I guess. Hello, Millie. Nice to see you. There's a pre-timer text, so I figured some people might not just want the timer. They may want to just be able to put timer. Whoops. And whatever else in there. So if it's a countdown or, I don't know, kaboom, whatever it may be, you can just pop that in there and it will appear before the timer. So it just allows you to do all that sort of stuff. Yeah, you can still make it a compound clip and then reverse it that way, which is what I'll be telling everyone to do, to be honest. Yep. And then another problem with the previous one is when it ended, which is the same as this, let me show you. When it ends, it just stops. If I had more on my timeline, let's grab a generator. Oh, that'll do. Jazzy one. When it gets to the end, it just stops because you can't find a way to stop the timer while actually keeping it on screen. So this isn't the most pleasant fix, but I've given it a bit of a dirty workaround. What we can do, if we, I don't know, let's just change, just to give you an example, let me just change this and, you know, do whatever. Change the way it looks, all that sort of stuff. Let's say at exactly this point, what am I at? Oh no, let's make it a bit more difficult. 8 seconds and 20. We want it to stop but remain on speed, so on screen even. So I'm going to duplicate my magic timer, holding Alt and drag. If you know my channel, you'll know about the Alt key by now. So we can drag that there. And by default, what this is going to do is just restart. But on the second magic timer, which has all of the same formatting because we've just copied it, in the timer, there's a little override tick box. You just tick that. And it'll get rid of the timer, and then you can, what is this? 00000820. So you go 00000820, and now this one just says that, and it's not a timer anymore. It's basically just stopped. So that means you can just go da-da. Hey, there's the result of the thing. Let's say where this was, I don't know, timing a speed run of some description, and then you could just grab a little adjustment clip. I don't know. Let's just say you'll put a little dynamic zoom on there. Swap that around. Do another one of them. Swap that. I'm bodging this. Just doing it quick. But you go, ooh, look at my little timer. It's 0820. And then it stays on screen. So it just keeps it on screen for you to then animate. So you can bring it up, flash it around, and do what you want. There's nothing fancy. This isn't a big game changer like some of my previous ones, but people wanted milliseconds, so I've put milliseconds on there and then just try to make it, you know, a little bit better. What we got? Let me just have a quick look at the comments. Tell how we can make a pop-in titles. I mean, I can do a video on pop-in titles. This could be a really good thing for video. Yeah, video game speedrunners. There's loads of people ask me for, some people talking about cars because they, you know, do track days and they want to be able to time their track and have it on screen. Speedrunners, anyone that's doing any sort of physical activity, you know, gym goers or runners or whatever, they like to have timers on there. All that sort of stuff. There's loads of niches that this may be useful for, so that's why we made it. What streaming setup are you using? Yes, OBS to YouTube. I record all of my YouTube videos and all of these streaming stuff in OBS. So everything's done directly to OBS, and that gives me the ability to go ping, hit a little button on my keyboard, swap between me, full face, hello, and then straight back to my big monitor. So when I record my actual YouTube videos, it's all live, essentially. I can just hit my keyboard to switch between me and the thing I'm showing you, which is nice. Please talk to... You can actually save Fusion compositions in Power Bins. No, hang on, I always get this confused. There's one thing you can save and one thing you can't. Is it Fusion compositions you can't? Someone will know. Because you can do, like that, my magic timer, for example, which is technically a Fusion composition. That's a smart bin. That was very smart of me, wasn't it? That will go in there. There is a different sort of Fusion that you can't put in Power Bins. It'll come to me in a moment. Ooh. So before I get this up and running, that's it. You cannot save a clip, so you can't save a Fusion clip. That's right, isn't it? Thanks, Simon. Might be handy. Yes. YouTube video to show my setup. I'm going to work on that. It's on my list, and I'll show you. I'll show you the reason why it's on my list. This is my problem with lives. I just go off on tangents, but check it out. I have a stand-up desk, which I've had for a while. But what I've changed is all of my lighting and my camera and my computer and everything is all attached to the desk. So as I move up and down, as you can tell, the lighting may change because that one doesn't move behind me, but everything stays the same, which is cool. So now I can sit down. Now, I'm just really quickly going to test that this thing works on my Mac, and then we'll get it released. So it'll be free. I'll put it on my Ko-fi, and I'll put the link out, and you can all just download it and start using it. And you can all be the beta testers, essentially. Anyone that's watching this live will get this before I actually go out and make the video about it. So you can all test it for me, make sure it works. And if it doesn't, you can't complain because it's free. But please do let me know if it doesn't quite work. Just grab the old MacBook. That's not going to come. That's not going to come up on the stream. So you'll just have to bear with me. Let me know if you like these live things. I like doing that. I just talk nonsense, don't I, really? Magic timer, install. OBS tutorial would be good for those not up to speed. I can do that. Honestly, I don't do much with my OBS. It's really quite simple what I do. And I've set it up once and I don't really touch it again. Will you make a Discord? I actually have a Discord. Here's a bit of truth for you. So we do have a Discord. I really struggle to manage all of the stuff that comes with having a YouTube channel. Like I'm good at the YouTube bit. I'm good at some of the other bits, but trying to remember to go onto YouTube and then do my emails and then speak to people and then do some of the client stuff that I do, because I do some freelance stuff as well, and get on the Discord, and I'm terrible. So there is a Discord, but I haven't been, and I've left it. You know when you leave something for slightly too long and then you don't want to go back in, and then it snowballs because you leave it even longer and it gets even worse. Yeah. So I owe quite a few people some apologies, unfortunately. But on the plus side, the timer seems to be working. Phil, hello Phil, how you doing? Someone else said they don't know what's going on. Oh, it was Phil. It was all Phil. Hello Phil. basically, I've made a little timer. I'm going to release it in a moment. You can all beta test it and have a look and see what's going on with it. Just on the Mac, making sure that it works. Working. Yep, working. Yep. Yep. All right, I think we're good to go. Oh yeah, when as I say, all the lights are literally here. So if I move like a foot back, I disappear into the darkness. It doesn't help that I'm wearing a black top. There you go. In theory, this thing will work, this magic timer will work on the iPad, which I haven't tested yet, but I will do. So, yeah, let's get it live. It looks, on my screen's a little bit higher, my second monitor. And it doesn't feel that high to me when I use it, but on camera it looks like I'm really straining, but it's not that bad, I promise. Shop. Even has presets for, I do. It's great. This is my office. We live in a tiny house. I don't, you know, I'm a common as muck from Birmingham. I don't live in a big house. So everything, basically everything I own is in this is in this one room, including all of my clothes. And my bike, because I have nowhere to store my bike. So yeah, there you go. And I give everything away for free. As someone said in the comments earlier. Right, magic. What are we calling this? Just wanted to say thank you for all your vids. Brendan, not a problem at all. Thank you very much for watching. And Goth Rider Creations, just want to say thanks for your videos. I know nothing about video editing. One year later, I have a YouTube channel and I love playing with Resolve. Thanks, mate. That's awesome. So, magic timer, digital item. You can see how I set this stuff up on Ko-fi as well if you really want. Magic timer for DaVinci Resolve 18. It'll actually work on older ones as well, I guess. Description, magic timer title. That will do. I've made a real quick, I'll probably change this, but it's a little preview button for now. That will work. Hello, Frank from Frank in Blackpool. How you doing? Embedded media. There isn't a video yet. This is going to be one DRFX file. Categories. I think I've got one for effects. Oh, titles. I do. Save that. Upload file. DRFX. That one, please. No, don't download it. My desktop. Ignore my desktop. It's a mess. There you go. Pay what you want. Minimum price, 0. Limit the quantity. Everyone. I've made it myself. Save and publish. Copy the link. It's in the chat. There you go. As I say, everyone that's watching this, all of you lovely people, first of all, thank you. Thank you very much for for jumping in. And secondly, you'll be getting this first. I only finished making this. I was literally, as you saw me at the start, still scurrying around trying to finish it. So, yeah, now it's finished. You guys are the first people to have it. Test it for me. If you find any issues, please do let me know. I'll probably make a proper video to go on the channel, sort of an actual pre-done video, which is a better demonstration rather than me waffling and messing around. I'll do that next week sometime. So, yeah, if you've got any feedback, any thoughts, any things you think could improve it, I know the reverse thing would be lovely. I'll see if I can figure it out. But for things like this, some of my other ones are really useful. You know, my Magic Animate, I don't mind spending the time on those because I know how much value they bring. I use Magic Animate and Magic Zoom in all of my projects. And now the main reasons I made them, if I'm totally honest, I make them to be selfish. I make them because they make my life easier. And I know that if they make my life easier, they'll probably make your lives easier. So then I give them out. But this is kind of niche. It probably won't be that useful for a lot of people. So I won't spend too much time on it. And because, you know, and it's free. If it was useful to only a handful of people, but I could, you know, I was charging for it, then at least my time would be a little bit more well spent, if that makes sense. But yeah. But if there's any little bits, let me know. So does this plugin show me how many frames each clip is in my timeline, for example? No, so this will... It will pick up your frame rate on the timeline, though, and then just pick up, and then it will just do basically milliseconds. It sounds obvious, milliseconds, but it's actually much harder to do because DaVinci Resolve uses frames, so it doesn't really care about milliseconds. It only ever looks at frames. So I had to turn those frames into milliseconds. So yeah, that was what it was. If you need to know. I mean, you could do that with the time expression if you wanted to know how many frames each clip is in your timeline. I can show you that if you want to know. Let me just see what else I got. Corey McCabe. Hello, Corey. How you doing? Audio is pretty quiet. I can knock that up. Bing. Just do it one for now. Make sure I don't blow anyone's eardrums open. Adrian, not a problem at all. I see you a lot, actually, Adrian. I recognise the name, so thank you very much. How to download, comment above, or just shoot over to my Ko-fi page. Ko-fi.com/MrAlexTech, and it should be in the shop there. We have had a couple of downloads. So you've all found it. Excuse me, burping on camera. How rude. Kausa, I can't rename copied compound clips. What do you mean, sorry? So on your timeline, you should be able to. Unless you've got a bug. Compound clip. Yeah. Yeah, unless you've got a bug. Let me know. That should be easy enough if you just copy the compound clip on your timeline. Go to File, scroll down, Name, give it a new name, change the color if you want, and off you go. Anyway, Alex or anyone, I use a basic crossfade transition in almost all of my videos. Occasionally, the transition will revert any changes made to the clip for the duration of the transition. Any idea? Let me read that again. Occasionally, the transition will revert any changes made to the clip. As in, like, the transition will remove any effects or whatever you've done on there? Let me know and I'll try and answer for you. Ralph Kohler, what way do you prefer people become patrons? YouTube, buy me a coffee, other. So I've never used Patreon. I've never used that. That's the main way a lot of people do it. I did turn on YouTube memberships a while ago. I don't really like it for a couple of reasons. YouTube take half the amount, I think it's 40% off the bat, which I don't like. Not necessarily for my gain, but for yours, it feels like you're wasting your money, which I don't enjoy. I've used to use Buy Me a Coffee. I moved away from Buy Me a Coffee because they got dropped from PayPal. because they were allowing naughty stuff on there. Naughty boys. So so they got dropped by PayPal, and loads of my people were using PayPal. So I use Ko-fi. Ko-fi's, again, it's really hard to find a place where I can chat to everyone and do stuff. But I've always liked Ko-fi. The reason I like Ko-fi, now full disclosure, I do some work for them. They're one of my clients, so I do make videos for them. But the main reason I like them is there's no fee. Like, there literally isn't a fee. When you donate, if you donate to me from a shop item, I get everything. Well, minus the PayPal fee or whatever, but they don't take anything. So some of my stuff, for example, hang on a moment, let me show you, give me an example. Give me a second. It's a bit slow to load, that's mainly downside with Ko-fi. Sometimes it can take a minute. There you go. Magic Animate, for example. Now, not all of these people, the vast majority of these people didn't donate anything. So don't think that I have thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds coming in. But this has been downloaded just under 75,000 times. And I don't pay a penny to Ko-fi for that. Like nothing. I don't have to pay a hosting fee to host my Magic Animate, and they don't charge a fee when someone donates. Which, from their point of view, mad. It's a great business model for us. But I know the people at Ko-fi. They're really nice people, and they're generally out there to help people like me, which is why they've set things up the way they've set them up. So yeah, Ko-fi. I do want to know. We want to shoot to the... Oh, okay, let me answer this question really quickly. Let me just get rid of this. Let's keep that. Is there a... probably the easiest way. Sorry, talking to myself. So, Phil wants to know, or needs to know, how many frames each thing is on his timeline. So, the quickest way I can think to do this, grab a Text Plus, put it on top of the thing you're measuring. You could make a preset that does this if you want to. Open up the inspector, go to the custom title. It needs to be a Text Plus, sorry. I can't remember if I mentioned that. And then in the text area, right click and go to expression. And then literally just type time with a lowercase t. And that's all it is. Frames. So this thing is 576 frames. And the joy of this, because it's Text Plus, because it's dynamic, we make this shorter. We can move it over here. Now this bit is 145. And let's just prove the point. Let's make that 15 seconds. 15 seconds, I get, what have I got? 450 frames. Let's make this 60 frames. Now 50. Oh, okay. Didn't like that. Didn't like me pasting it, I don't think. Let's try that again. That is 6. Oh, why did you not do it? Did I not hit save? 60. Go. Change. 60 frames. 15 seconds. Time. Hey, there you go. 900. So it's dynamic. The time will just look at the current project, the frames, and count for you. So yeah, that's a way to do it. You could save that if you wanted to, but honestly, to just open up your inspector, do an expression, type the word time in there, all lowercase, so that'll do it for you. And that is a nice way of, you can do some fancy stuff with that, to do some manual timers if you wanted to. I made an old video about that. Maybe it's time to redo that. But you can do some basic maths in here, like time times 2, or time divided by, my frame rate is 60. So there you go. This is going to be exactly 15. there's stuff you can do with that. Some people have just donated to me on Ko-fi, I think. I've had some emails. Thank you. Appreciate you. Very, very much. Hi Alex, been a big fan of your stuff. However, I'm currently having issues with Magic Animate. When I try to change any of my whip and in and out angles, it keeps resetting back to 0. Oh, not come across that myself. Random video. I can't even remember where all my own stuff is. I always search for it. In, out, angles. Yeah, I don't know. That sounds like it's... Because I haven't actually updated that for a while, so it should be fine. I'm on the latest version as well, so that should be good. Don't know. Maybe pop me an email. If you've already sent me an email, I apologise. But pop me an email and I'll keep my eye out for it. This has only been happening today, as well as I've been using it for months now. That's interesting. You could try removing it, reinstalling it. It could be maybe a caching issue. Here's a quick trick. This is generally for anyone that uses any of my tools. More recently, caching has become a bit of a problem with Fusion tools. I can't think of an example that I could set up really quickly, but sometimes things cache and do weird things. So a real quick solution to fix it, if Magic Animate or Magic Zoom or any of my stuff is doing something weird, you've changed some settings and it doesn't look like it's actually made those changes, just open up the inspector, go to Magic Animate, hit the little bin, it'll get rid of it, and then just do an undo, Control Z, and it puts it back on and clears the cache. So it's something I have to do quite often in big projects. When I've got loads of things going on, loads of Fusion stuff, it's like, oh, okay, that's not doing what I want it to do. Delete, undo, and it sets it right. I've always just remembered I didn't put my little buttons on my tool, but never mind. Cozy Edit, how you doing? Live stream, yeah. If people like these, I'll do more. And feel free, fire some questions, because how long have I been going? I don't even know. 45 minutes, that's not bad. Okay, yeah, fire some questions. I'll see what I can answer. Doesn't have to be DaVinci Resolve. Ask me anything you like. Keep it PG. All things film. Hello there. How you doing? What was that question? Music isolation and beat marker. Can we get option for... Yeah, music isolation. I've heard people talk about that, and I've mentioned that actually. So basically the opposite of voice isolation. Yeah, I think that's a common request. Not necessarily for music, but if someone's chattering away in an environment where you're trying to get some ambient noise, just being able to turn off the voices would be a cool implementation of the AI voice stuff. So that would be good. In terms of what was there, a beat marker, there is a plugin. Casey talked about it on his channel, Casey Farris. So definitely go have a look at Casey's channel. And he talked about it recently. I haven't tried it, so I can't vouch for anything. But I know Casey's talked about it, and I think he said it was pretty good. So yeah, go have a look at Casey's channel. I think that will probably be something Resolve. I don't know. I never know. I think sometimes people think I have an inside scoop. Excuse me. I never really talk to anyone from Resolve, so I don't have from Blackmagic. I don't have an inside scoop, but I think that's something they'll implement because it's a common feature and it exists elsewhere. So yeah. What have I missed? Can I edit videos for you? Maybe in the future. At the moment, I don't need the assistance, but maybe sometime. Hey, if things keep going well, I might need the extra hands. I don't know. AI Sponge is getting 6,000 viewers and you 60. That's cool. I'm you know, still like the fact there's 60 people here. Used to just be me mum. And even she doesn't watch. Yeah, I prefer that. He taught me everything I know. Not a master of the editor yet. Oh, no, you'll be... I'm not a master editor, you know. I just have fun editing. I've written a script for a video, which I'm going to do, and it's not technical. It doesn't show you anything in Resolve. It's just me chatting, really. So maybe I'll do that. It's a similar vein. It's just talking about the editing should be fun and don't take it too seriously, and a few little mindset, some things to think about. What else I missed? Any fun collaborations coming up? Corey, I actually spent a few days with Mr. Darren Mostyn last week, so I've got a video to edit for that. That was fun. Naturally, we started talking for a little bit, meant to record a video, and then ended up in the pub. So yeah, we didn't record quite as much as we meant to, but that was good. And I'm going to ResolveCon, so all of you here, I'm letting you know, if anyone's in the Portland area, Casey Farris has obviously arranged, and his team, they're putting on ResolveCon once again. So I'm flying over to Portland. I've got a session there. I don't have any more details other than that, but I will be doing a session. And yeah, it'll be fun. It's just 3 days to hang out, and yeah, it'll be cool. So come along. Casey's did a video about that as well, so have a look on his channel. Do you know how to edit 360 videos in DaVinci? I actually don't. I've never used 360 footage. I haven't got a 360 camera. I've never had to deal with it. It's something I'd quite like to have a play with, so maybe I'll try and pick one up if there's a sale on or something. I don't know how much I'll use it, so I'll try not to buy. I went through a period of buying stuff just because I wanted it. Now I only try and buy things that I really need, now that I don't have a real full-time job. Have you built any Lego sets recently? I haven't, but not many people are going to care about this, but hang on. Yeah. We've got that one to build. And now I know I just said I try not to buy things I don't need. My wife bought me that, so there you go. Have an excuse. My lovely, lovely wife Becky bought me that one. What is the meaning of life? Bloody good question. No idea, Frank. No idea. Eat, drink, have fun. Make YouTube videos. I use the voice isolation on a trip traveling on a train. It worked really well. The voice isolation is really, really good. I'm really impressed with it. Sorry, chat, you're way ahead of me, but let me catch up. Millie, what card are you using? A 4080 NVIDIA. Do you think keyframing in DaVinci Resolve is hard? Yes, especially on the edit page. It's just a bit of a faff. You can do, but it is a bit of a faff. Kobe, I'm from South Africa. You got me going with using... Awesome. Thank you for letting me know, and I'm happy to help. Did you see my bug report? No. Let me know where that was. Have you emailed it? Somewhere. Let me know and I'll have a look. I tried using Resolve for photo editing and it's quite good. Yeah. I mean, the color grading tools work for photos too. So it's actually not a bad option. You know, if you don't want to buy any actual sort of photo editing software, there is something like GIMP, which is free, but it's more of a Photoshop rather than like a Lightroom color grading equivalent. So if you're stuck, yeah, dump it in the color page and Resolve and off you go. It's actually easier to export them now as well. You can, if you're on the beta anyway, you can just get them out. Is there an easy way to add audio keyframes? I want to dip my breathing. Not sure how to... Oh, yeah, there's a few ways to do that. So let me read that again. Is there an easy way to add audio keyframes? I want to dip my breathing noises mid-sentence and not sure how to do beyond keyframes. There's actually a couple of different ways that you can do it. Let me import some footage with some actual sound I've got some just random videos. That one's got noise, I think. Nope. Let's find something. This is part of an unyet released video. So there you go. So the easiest way is if you hold Alt or Option and see this little line. So there's actually a little audio volume line on there, and you can click and drag. If you hold, I think it's Alt, it is Alt and click, you can add keyframes. So you can really quickly, if you add 4, so you want to do like the point where you start coming down, the point where you're down, and then the point where you want to start going back up, and the point where you back up, and then you can just drag this down like so. Another way, which I do like, if you hold Alt once again to click the audio, which only selects the audio, then do a cut. So you've got a real simple edit point, which you can then click and move around, which makes it nice and handy. Then go to your audio transitions, crossfade, do the same thing again over here. Crossfade, and then you can just lower the volume of this middle section. So rather than having to keyframe it, you can use these crossfades to basically do the work for you. And the nice thing with these is if you've put it in the wrong place, you can then just click and move it around. I'm in the way. Click. Click and move it around like so. There you go. Do you have a personal Discord? I do, but as I say, I haven't been doing much with it, so I apologise. I need to figure that out. Ralph, what part of the UK do you live in? I'm from a place called, it's actually Solihull. It's near Birmingham, or in Birmingham, right in the middle of England. I'm from a place called the West Midlands. Not that England is very big. You can get anywhere in a few hours anyway, but there you go. Segment called Recreate, where you recreate a look or feel from a music video. Yeah, that's not a bad idea, actually. Send me, if you've got any examples, some things you'd like me to try and replicate, let me know. I look younger than my previous streams. Thank you. I've had a haircut for a change. Check that out. And I had a shave the other day too. And I've lost a little bit of weight. So maybe that's why. How to set thumbnail for the effects. Oh. For the little fusion effects. So for anyone interested that makes their own fusion stuff, these little thumbnails. So obviously I have my own little thumbnail for the magic timer. I put my face on it because, you know, why not? So I'm on there. All you need to do, oh, this is quite lengthy to, is it lengthy to explain? Maybe. So you need to know what you're doing with DRFX files, which I can talk about. Not right now, it's a bit lengthy, but I have made a video about DRFX files in the past, so check that out. But basically, if you have a PNG, which is the exact same name as the settings file, it needs to be pretty small. I made this one 500 by 250 pixels. You make it the exact same name, and then you package them both up like so. Together, when you import them, you get the actual setting, and then you get your little thumbnail. So there you go. I bought Resolve Studio and was trying out the new AI stuff. My question, does it use the original or the proxy media with the tracking and masking? If you've set proxies, I believe it uses proxies. I think, because then when you come to render, it will retrack. I think. Don't take my word on that, because I don't generally use proxies, but I believe that to be the case. Color grading with me and Darren should be fun. It was fun. I learned a lot from Darren. Darren's great. I've heard that clicking M allows you to change the pivot, but I can't get it to work. Clicking M. M just does a, oops, just does a marker. Give me some more information on that one. Tell Casey he needs to bring ResolveCon to Europe. I will. We need to get him over. Also, I'm going to take him some Jaffa cakes because he hates Jaffa cakes. So I'm going to take him some over. Sterling and MrAlexTech. Yes, I need to speak to Sterling, actually. He did message me, so I'm going to get in touch with the good old Mr. Sterling. He's not old, he's younger than me. The fantastic young Mr. Sterling. Phil M. Photographic, what's your day rate? What work do you need? Let me know. Pop me an email. I've actually just set up my Calendly, because a lot of people have been asking me to, spend an hour with them running through some tips and tricks. So, yeah, I'm setting that up. Is there an easy way to scrub through the timeline similar to the jog wheel? Yeah, I mean, you can use the J, K, and L keys. So if you just tap L, it'll play through. Blurry back. Just get rid of that. Play. Start again now. If you hit L on your keyboard, it'll play through. Hit it again, it'll go faster. Again, it'll go even faster. So you can scrub through using the J, K, and L keys. If you like using a mouse, this thing here, which everyone ignores, even me, it's pointless sometimes unless you really need it. There's a little jog wheel, and it's for your mouse. So you put your mouse over this jog wheel, click your mouse, and then if you move it to the right, you'll jog to the right. And if you move your mouse to the left, you'll jog to the left. Whee! So there you go. You're all talking too fast. Let me... what does your wife think of your playroom? She loves it. She's really into Lego as well. This is like just my office because I work here. I spend all day here, pretty much. And then I'm either working on videos or working on all the other stuff. So I tried to put some personality into it with all my Lego bits. But she's a big Lego nerd as well, so it's all good. Website or owner name on DRFX file, how to do it? Don't know. What do you mean, My Little Buttons? That's a whole thing. It's done with labels and stuff. Easiest thing is obviously just jump into mine and see what I've done. Do a build video on the Bugatti. Yeah, I mean, I'd have to put it on a separate channel. I don't think everyone... I think I'd get one viewer and it'd be you, Andrew, I think. Resolve, minimize, resolve interface. I just want to stop by and say, Old Fart Gaming. Old Fart Gaming, what is your... Oh, you had a question recently for me and Darren, or Darren specifically. I remember speaking to him, and your name popped up. That's why I remember the name Old Fart Gaming, because it made me laugh. But you're saying thank you, no problem at all. Thank you very much. There is an inconsistency, maybe you could call it a bug, but when you select only milliseconds, it has a colon, but every other one, if you select individually, does not have it. Ooh. This is probably just me. If you only select... Yeah, you're right, I know what that is. But you are right, and I know exactly why it's there. Would anyone just be using that? That's my question. Would anyone only be using milliseconds? Because it doesn't continually count up. It gets to the frame rate and then starts again. So it's probably not that useful on its own. You're right. It shouldn't be there. What I'm saying is I don't think it's a big issue. But I will fix it. And thank you for pointing it out, Gary. Appreciate it. I really hate that I can't customize the layout in Resolve. Yeah, it's one of those things people have wanted for a while. More control over the layout. You can do some things with it, but yeah, it's not the best. DaVinci Resolve will overtake Premiere. They're actually doing some... They're putting the effort in now. I think all of this pressure from everyone else has made them put in some effort, which is only a good thing. And they are starting to do some fun stuff with AI, which I think is cool. Should make a video about photo editing in Resolve. I could do, actually. I've not done much of it, to be honest. I use Lightroom. I haven't, to be honest, I haven't edited photos in a while. But I could do. I did do a video on thumbnails a while ago. Any idea how big a ProRes HQ file at 1 hour will be? ProRes HQ. That's ProRes RAW, isn't it? Big is the answer. I can give you A very rough estimate. Hang on a moment. Where in the world? I'm not going to show any of this because it's not ready. Okay, but just for you, it's not Pro. Yeah, I think mine was. I recorded ProRes using my Lumix S5 Mark II X. I can't remember the exact details. It was 34 minutes long and it was 39 gig. So double that, essentially. Recorded straight to the hard drive, thanks to the magic that is the S5 2X. So there you go. Dan Mahoney, this is a great channel. Thank you. Appreciate it. I do try. My wife says I'm very trying. A Brummie? Yes, I am indeed a Brummie. I want better keyframing and customizable layout and better subtitle start. Yeah, it's the thing that people are asking for at the moment. You can't add a 3D key to favorite. Can you not? Oops. Oh, what are you doing? 3D key. Favorite. I can. Oh yeah, seems to work. I can me. Just hit the little star. Oh no. Yeah, that's favorite. So no, sorry, can't help you. That seems to be okay. No advice for you there. Can you make your transitions pack in a DRFX file? I don't work on a free version of... You can still install them on the free version. Some of the old instructions are exactly the same. You just need to manually drop the .settings files on there. Is there any keyboard shortcut for add speed points? Yes, in 18.5. They've changed it. Go back on my channel and have a look. I did a video... couple of weeks back. I called it smart keyframes, I think it was. They've changed the way that they work. So, yeah, have a look at that. It's worth knowing. AA Photography, thank you very much. I always appreciate your comments. So, yeah, keep leaving me the comments. Love them. Will you do a video on USD Fusion? I don't do much 3D stuff at all, to be honest. So I don't know enough. I might play with it just to see what I can do. Jay Littman has been doing some videos on that recently. So if you're really interested, have a look at Jay. Jay's always good for some fun. He makes some fun videos. So yeah, check out Jay. Andy, I have a quick question about DaVinci Resolve. The last two videos that I rendered came out glitchy. They've never been that way before. Do you have any thoughts about why? Oh, needle in a haystack, that one, unfortunately. Fusion, so it depends what you've got on your timeline, really. All the obvious things would be to check all your drivers and do all that sort of stuff. Make sure your hard drives aren't filling up in case, you know, it's getting a bit full and the read speeds are dropping, which can happen when it gets a bit full. So therefore it's glitching out when it's trying to write stuff and read stuff. If it's Fusion, yeah, cache maybe. I don't know. It's honestly, the list is as long as you like. I can't guarantee I'll get a chance to look, but if you want to send me an example to my email, again, I'm sorry, I can't guarantee that I'll be able to have the time to diagnose it. But if you send it me, and if I do, I'll have a look. About the M pivot, right click in the viewer, then M with the left. Oh, I got ya. No, I don't. Read that again. First click in the viewer, then M with the left mouse button. You can supposedly move the pivot, especially for mask. It would be good to bypass the transform. I mean, you can move the pivot that way, but if you're doing a mask, I need something with more on, don't I? Yeah, I don't know. I'll look into that, but thank you, David. I refuse to pay monthly for software. Yeah, I get that, Frank. Some things... So what they've done recently, they've announced or they demoed that AI Firefly thing. And now, don't get me wrong, I totally understand your point. But the Firefly thing looks kind of funky, because what you can do is basically say, within Premiere Pro, you just type you're making a video about blah, 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 and it will go to Adobe Stock and just grab you loads of stock footage that it thinks you'll need on the project you're working on, and then you bring that in. So that, to me, is at least starting to validate the monthly cost, because stock footage naturally comes, it's a subscription-based kind of product. Just paying monthly for your sits on my computer program is stupid and annoying, but at least that kind of makes sense. I'm not defending that, but there you go. Have you played around with Python? I haven't. I don't code. I never learnt to, really. I figure things out. Like, hang on. This is my workings out for the magic timer. It's I sort of start with one thing and it doesn't work, so then I just move. This isn't even a good notepad, it's a standard notepad. I make something and it doesn't work, so then I go onto a new line and try that and just iterate and iterate and iterate. Yeah. I work in weird ways. And I just close that without saving it. But fortunately, I don't need it. So that's good. Blackmagic needs to fix desktop video in Ventura. Well, Ventura, is that? What's that? Don't know. The transcript AI feature cut my rough cut editing time from 1 to 2 hours to 10 minutes. Yeah, it's clever, isn't it? It's great, actually. What laptop would you recommend for DaVinci Resolve? It depends entirely on your budget and whether you prefer Windows or Mac. I like a Mac laptop because the only time I use a laptop is when I'm not at home, and I'm fortunate enough to be able to have a big PC and a laptop. If I was to only buy one, I'd probably buy a Windows one. I know that's controversial because I like Windows, so I'd have it set up here, plugged in, and then I'd unplug it and move around. But yeah, it really depends on your budget. If your budget is at the lower end, the best thing you can get for reasonable money is something like a MacBook Air. They're not massively powerful for Fusion and that sort of thing, but that entry level for just sort of editing and stuff, they're really quite good. If you go on the Windows side, just get something with the most powerful sort of CPU and graphics card and the most RAM and that sort of thing, but it just spikes. The price can go up really quick. So yeah, sorry, that's a washy answer. Can you give me some advices on video editing and some tricks so we can have videos to make it more fancy? Just look at my channel. Honestly, that's sort of what I try and do, is just give you simple things to have fun with and do, you know, jazzy stuff without putting in the effort. My next video, which is currently being worked on, is a bunch of text effects that are really quick and easy to do and look kind of nice. So hopefully that will come out soon and you'll enjoy that. Hi from Buenos Aires. Thank you very much, Diego. I appreciate it. After adding to favorites, relaunch, it will not be there. Let me try. I don't need that project. And while that's loaded. Oh, that is true. Thank you, Simon. Read the transitions, settings file. Since 17.4, the folder structure isn't there. You can still do it, though, actually, without manually recreating. I'll show that in a second. I've nearly got through the comments. Let me whiz through a few more. Do you have a promo code to buy Studio version? I don't. I wish I did. I wish I had an affiliate link too, but I don't. No, I don't. I don't have any way to get you a discount, unfortunately. Blackmagic are funny with things like that. You don't really get discounts. I think it's because it's, as far as the market goes, it's quite affordable. It's quite cheap. I know it's not. It's still expensive, but you know what I mean. You are right. Whoever is talking about the 3D Kia, yeah, it's no longer in my favourites. I don't know. It's obviously a bug. I would send that to Blackmagic. Like, they do a bug report or put it in the forum. It's probably your best bet. How do you set up your computer and allocate hard drives for projects and rendering? Oh, so I'm not fancy, as I've told you before. I do have some external hard drives which I move projects off to unload from my computer. But I really don't have much. I have my cache sitting on E. Which is an SSD. And then I have DaVinci Resolve itself running on C, which is an SSD as well. That's just the one that all of my programs and OS sits on. And then I usually store my media on D, which is a super fast M2 SSD, unless it's too big to fit, in which case I'd just try and split it up. But I try and just keep all the main things, cache, media, and then the actual program, the software, the system itself, on different drives so nothing gets chugged up. And that's honestly as simple as I keep it. I try not to get over fancy or over complicated with it too much. Any thoughts when to use Fusion or the color tab? Replacing the sky or green screen? Good question. Fusion's chuggier. Fusion's slower. Fusion has a deeper sort of floor. You can go deeper with Fusion. If you're just trying to do something which is readily available on the color page, I'll do it on the color page. I sometimes get told off by people because they're like, do this in Fusion. And I'll just do it on the color page because it's easier. I still quite often just do basic masking on the color page just because it's just a bit quicker. Like power windows are super quick and easy to just drop on there, put an alpha output. I know I could jump into Fusion, but I do it in Fusion as well if it's something more complicated. But really, there's no pro or con. Fusion is chuggier, deeper, you can do more with it, but if you just need something quickly, the color page for stuff like that can be really good. Adrian, sorry, Mr. T, I have to go. That's cool. Not a problem at all. Thanks for popping in. Take it easy. Appreciate all the hard work you're doing on the channel. Started editing the iPad version while traveling on the train. Yeah, I need to make some videos about the iPad version. I've got it, and I've been enjoying it actually and messing with it, but I haven't made any videos about it yet. So I will try and do something like that. ChatGPT doing Lua coding. I actually have asked ChatGPT to help me with some of my old bits of Lua, and it does work. So I put some of the expressions which I'd created my Magic Animate with. I dumped them into ChatGPT and said, "Are these any good? Can you make them better?" And it actually did. So highly recommended. It's a great resource. Andrew, thanks for sharing so much info on your channel. I'm new to DaVinci. Do you have a basics video? I find I'm taking long to cut, scroll, and move things. I don't really. I need to do one. I need to do a beginner's guide to DaVinci. I would highly recommend checking out my old alt video. I think I called it like the key to faster editing. Just type in MrAlexTech alt. Alt. I always struggle to say alt. ALT. Because the alt key or option if you're on a Mac is just a really great modifier, and it will really speed up your workflow without having to remember tons of different stuff. And also make sure you've got a mouse with a clicky wheel. It makes life much easier. Questum. Hey, how you doing? I was able to order a MacBook Pro with a 64 gig. Nice. Has anyone here played around with Runway? No, I've heard of Runway. And I'd like to have a play with it. Maybe I should see if I can... Is it still in beta or is it open? I'll have a look. I haven't looked at it in a while. Excuse me, actually. Is there a way to transfer DaVinci project to Illustrator? Don't think so. They're two vastly different things. Maybe someone will tell me, but I don't believe so. As for budget, I don't really mind, but I would say has to be, if it has to be Windows. Sorry, this is someone asking about a Windows laptop what they could buy up to about a 3,000 budget. Oh, that actually gets you a lot. I mean, some of the laptops these days are really good as well. Just look for the best you can get. Essentially, I know that's a really obvious question. But yeah, the best graphics card, especially if you're running the studio version, the graphics card will take you a long way. Intel CPUs are usually faster single core. They can get you a little bit better performance sometimes in DaVinci, but they do get a bit hotter. So, well, I mean, it's really hard to say, to be honest. There's so much of anything. But yeah, have a look around. Just look at reviews and that sort of stuff. Sorry, it's not a very good answer. It's such a broad question. I use a Surface Book too. I used to like the old Surface Books. They're great things. It happened when I rendered on H.265. Andy learns, but oh, so this is your glitchiness. Just try doing H.264 then. If you're on the free version, H.265 will use your graphics card, so maybe it's a graphics card issue. If it doesn't happen on H.264, only on 265, then yeah, it's something to do with your graphics card. Maybe drivers, or maybe you're just using an older graphics card that's really struggling. H.264 will give you bigger file sizes, but for online media, like, it's fine. I just like H.265 because it gets me good quality at a smaller file size. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. If it's really glitchy in 265, it sounds like you may just have to forget 265 and go 264, unfortunately. What are your favourite transition and sound effect combos you like for beginners? Oh, I mean, you can't go wrong with a nice simple whip with a whoosh transition. I mean, it depends what you want to do. I love all that sort of stuff. I know people are like, you don't need transitions. It's all about the story. And it is, but if you're making fun YouTube videos, put some transitions on there. I like the burn away one. I like to put a little burn, crispy sort of sound effect on there. Have fun with it, is my honest opinion. If you like it, put it out there. Have fun. Mess around. I accidentally formatted an entire 3 terabyte hard drive. Oh, that's not fun. Did you manage to get any of it back? Have you used Fairlight much? I haven't. I'm not an audio guy. I've always just done everything on the edit page. There's lots of gaps in my knowledge, if I'm honest. The color page, I know my way around and I can do bits with, but I'm no expert. And the same can be said for Fairlight. You know, I do all of my audio editing on the edit page just because it's quick and easy. Take it easy, Frank. I might have missed you, but see you later. Is there a way to split video in the edit tab? Because of right now, I split my videos in the cut tab. Yeah, I mean, that's a super quick one. No, let's have a think. So I'm a big fan of the Control B keyboard shortcut, which will just do little cuts. You can use the little razor edit blade, and if you just hit B on your keyboard, you can then click to do cuts, but I just prefer to do Control and B, put my blade wherever I want it to be, Control and B, job done. Oh, the missus is here. Becky Matravers. How you doing, Bex? She's downstairs spying on me. You can come say hello if you want. People would like to see you. What have I missed? Right, Casey Farris has a good primer for DaVinci. He does. Casey's got great videos, just generally. But yeah, he's got some really good sort of full introductions to DaVinci Resolve. A guy called Dunna Did It, that's D-U-N-N-A, Did It, has recently just released a beginner's guide to DaVinci. I've met Dunna a few times. He knows what he's doing. I haven't watched all of the video, if I'm honest, but he knows his way around DaVinci, so it should be a good video. So definitely worth a look. Do you think Blackmagic will care with Arabic titles? Oh, I couldn't tell you. I'm sorry, I don't know. I guess, I think they would. I don't know. I don't know how high up on the priority list. I guess it depends on their market share within Arabic sort of speaking places. I don't know, is the question. No, it's not. It's the answer. I love your dual magic zoom. It's great, but whenever I use it, it makes my spike. It makes the playback laggy when it's zooming in and out. Do you think the system? So yeah, it can. My magic zoom can be a little bit intensive. It's just Fusion, unfortunately. Go back to this. It's just Fusion. It is a bit chuggy. I am looking at ways to make it a little bit smoother, make it less intensive. So if I manage that, hopefully the next version will be better. Never made it to stream before. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Love your videos. Thank you very much. And I've helped you out. That's awesome. Thank you. Thanks for joining into the stream. Good evening, Abby. How you doing? Do I ever play Minecraft? No. Well, once upon a time, but not for a long time. What color space do? Oh, so with my main cameras, so I've got So I'm shooting on an S5 II at the moment. That's what's using it for this. And this is my S5 IIX. These are all Lumix. I shoot in Vlog, generally speaking. Not all the time, because it can be a bit annoying because you have to shoot at ISO 640. But yeah, Vlog. You said you're having issues with D-Log, DJI. Can you do a color space on that? Can you do a color space transform on D-Log? I don't know if you can. DJI, D-Gamut, DJI. Oh, you can. So that would be my recommendation. Darren Mostyn has done a full video talking about the color space transform, as well as color management, the automatic color management within Resolve. So I definitely check those out. But long story short, whoops. If you don't want to set it up automatically, import your footage into Resolve, jump onto the color page. From the little effects area, you want this one. It's called a color space transform. This is the quickest talk about it. It's a complicated tool. I'll let the experts talk about it, but in a real quick version. Drop that on your D-Log footage, and then you want to change the input color space and the input gamma. So I assume it will be DJI D-Gamut, and then the input gamma will be DJI D-Log. And then that should turn it to 709, if that's what your timeline is set to, which it will be unless you've messed with it. We should basically bring it up to look normal and then go from there. Cow Stalker, hello! So happy I found your live feed. How you doing? I've learned from pretty much every one of your videos. Thank you. Happy to help. I'm glad you're enjoying them and learning from them. Odd Captive, hey Alex, how you doing? 3D Kia or Luma? I don't do much green screen. I've always used the 3D Kia, if I'm totally honest with you. Again, probably Casey's better in place to answer that one because he does loads of that sort of stuff. Kyrie Tone, sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. Great stream, we got to go. Thanks for joining. Take it easy. See you next time. How to set up 2 or more subtitle languages. You can actually do that. Can't remember how. No, I forgot I've sent myself to D-Log. That looks rather ill. So I've set that to be... So now we have a subtitle track. If we right click, I think I don't think you can do them in one file, actually. You had a subtitle track, but you can only have one on at the same time. Don't know, actually, is the answer to that. You can export them, but then you can't. I don't know. Because you can only then embed one at a time. Don't know. That might be a question for Blackmagic. Because you're right, it's all limited to one. You can only have one on at a time. Good question. Don't know. Any clue when 18.1.5 will be out proper? No idea. No. It's quite a big update, this one. So DaVinci Resolve 18, when that was originally in beta, that was in a beta for a long time. So hopefully not that long, but yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Yes, I do have 3. Okay. I mean, it depends how deep you're getting as quiz. I can't pronounce your name. I'm sorry. Depends how deep you want to go. I personally wouldn't, unless you're doing something really fancy. Keep it as simple as you can. How can I save and reuse Fusion compositions for other projects? I've made a video about that. Don't know where it is. Let me find it. Here you go, in the chat. So that's how you can resave a Fusion composition to make it available to you on the edit page and give yourself some custom buttons and whatever else as well. So there you go. Calsa Studio, goodbye, see you later. Mick, how about a tour of your studio? Yes, it's on the works, in the works. I will try and make a video. It's meant to be horrible this weekend, so maybe I'll just stay in and do that one of the days. It needs a tidy as well. I'll tidy it up first, and then we'll get that out. Robert, not on point. What content could you upload to Patreon so that people will be motivated to join? Any ideas? Oh, that's a good question. If you've got an existing audience, so like for me, I talk about DaVinci Resolve, it would make sense to just do more of that if I was to release a Patreon. So if you already have a channel, if you have content that you know people enjoy, then more of that, essentially. Patreon only really works if you have an existing audience. It doesn't have to be a big audience. It just has to be some sort of audience that are key, that are interested in what you're saying. A really good way to think about having an online audience is if you've got 10 people that are really invested in you and what you're doing, that's much better than having 1,000 people who aren't invested in you at all. So if I was selling, I don't know, beer, for example. If I was selling beer and I went to a place that doesn't drink alcohol, and even though there's 1,000 people there, I'm not going to sell many because it's the totally wrong audience. Even though I'm in front of 1,000 people, it's the wrong sort of people. Whereas if I have 10 people that are really interested in what I'm selling or what I'm saying, that's a much better situation to be in. So try and get yourself an audience and go from there. Weird analogy. It was on my table. I just went with it. Millington, what's the red outlines, Alex? Red outlines. The thing behind me, that one. The big sign. Let me know what you mean. My name is Nan. Thanks. Too much time watching. Oh, hello, Nan. Yeah, I've got you on. I think I see you on Insta as well. There's a dog barking, if you can hear that. You like my content? Thank you, Blimo. Appreciate you. Any chance you'll make a video about using stock? They've just, yeah, they're doing a promotion at the moment, actually. Motion via effect on their stock elements. So, yeah, maybe I should do a video about those. Thank you, Nan. I appreciate it. Sharing the videos, sharing the love. Dashing Trader, thank you for helping me learn. Not a problem at all. I've been available by videos on my channel. You get 7,000 subscribers. Amazing stuff. Keep doing what you're doing. Does being a member give members access to your paid transitions? Ralph. I don't really have any paid transitions. Essentially, yes. If I've done it, I have done like a couple in the past. I think I've done a glass one. But yeah, you can get access to all of those for free. I am going to start doing some more premium paid for stuff. But I want to make sure that there's always free stuff as well. But yeah, if you're part of my membership, I'll try and give you everything that give you access to whatever, essentially. Because I appreciate it. It keeps me going. How does one remove a custom field from a node in Fusion? The tool is underwhelming. The tool is very underwhelming. You can't do it. You still can't do it. This has been an issue for years and years and years and years and years. If you create a custom field or a custom tool or a custom whatever, you can't get rid of it. That's it. The only way to do it is to actually remove it from the text file. So you can do it that way if you wanted to. I can show you how to do that. Let me know. But you can't do it within the UI itself. It's really weird. That is a great logo. Thanks, Ralph. It is. Oh, wrong way. It's reversed. I like that. I designed that. Logo. It's an M, it's an A, and it's a T. Kind of. And that sign was sent to me by the lovely folks at Audio, who, as you know, they sponsor a few videos. They sponsor the channel. They're really, really lovely people. And so they sent me a cool sign. Glans, I need some transitions and titles. So, I mean, I've done some free transitions in the past. Patrick Sterling's done loads of freebies, so definitely check out Patrick, because he's done some cool stuff. Yeah, I mean, free stuff is uncommon. At the end of the day, like some of the stuff I make takes me hours and hours and hours, loads of time, and then I make not much money off them. So people need to obviously make some money. I'm fortunate that I have this YouTube channel which does make money. If I was just making stuff for free, I wouldn't last very long, without any other sources of income. So yeah, it's a tough one. Freebies are great, but not everyone can give them out, unfortunately. But yeah, have a look on YouTube. There are some other people doing it. Lonely Artist, hi from Greece. Just want to say a big thank you. Not a problem at all. Thank you very much. Shout out to 5 Minute Fridays, even though it's a Wednesday. Yeah, there's a hopefully ready for Friday. It's not a 5-minute one. It's going to be much longer than that, but hopefully it's a cool video. Someone's asking my surname is Matravers. Weird one, I know. If you just email me, Ralph, if you've signed up and you don't see why, I don't know if it should let you. It might not. I might not have set it up. But send me an email, Ralph, and if needs be, I'll just send them all directly and save you the hassle. What's the best way to pay for a logo to be used as a company logo? Is Fiverr? Yeah, Fiverr's fine, honestly. Find someone good on Fiverr. And that's the way to do it. You can never be sure if you can trust everyone on the internet, but that's life, unfortunately. But yeah, I would recommend Fiverr's a good place to start. There are other people if you know someone directly that you can do it, but Fiverr's not a bad place to start. You really like the free transitions? Cool. I'm actually going to work on some more. I've already started working on some other transitions, so I'll keep doing that. Do you use Resolve for all motion graphics? I actually do. I do everything in Resolve. Sometimes it's not the best for motion graphic stuff. I don't do really heavy stuff. I just do online, make it look a bit snazzy sort of motion graphics, and Resolve works for that. Why didn't you do this on a Friday? I could have done. I just felt like a midweek live stream, and I figured I'd get the timer ready and put it out there, and as it was nearly ready, I thought, why not just do it live? Because, you know, it's nice to chat. I might try and make this a regular thing. If you'd like me to make this a regular thing, let me know. Motion Effects has great stuff, but it's not free. Too right, Abby. It is really good stuff, but I appreciate it is quite expensive for some people. Like, it is quite expensive. Halfway done doing it the hard way. Sorry, Ralph. I'm still using Resolve 17. Is 18 better? No, it's very much... Well, it does have more features. It does have... If you're on the studio version, it is probably worth switching because it has some really cool features. If you're on the free version, there's some nice little bits, but it's nothing major. If you don't feel like you're missing anything and you're comfortable as you are on 17, keep it, honestly. But there isn't that much difference. You know, if you're worried about jumping to 18 and having to relearn things, it's all fundamentally the same. They've just added additional stuff. How about some scoreboard for people that makes... Someone else asked me that, actually. I did think of trying to do like at least a little counter that you can just tally up. But I have to look at how you could do that. Guess you'd have to... I mean, you could just cut it, I suppose. But I'd have to look at a fancy way of doing it. Live streams are excellent, Alex. Thanks, Millie. I think this would be great. Once a month. Yeah, I think once a month is probably about right, isn't it? If I tried to do it every week, I'd get bored and you'd get bored. So maybe once a month. Maybe we do a monthly catch-up. On a Friday is not a bad idea, actually. Yeah, let's try that. I'll see if I can schedule them in. Friday catch-up. Good plan. David, big thanks for all the great, clear and entertaining videos. Not a problem at all. Thank you for watching, and I'm glad you're enjoying DaVinci Resolve. Oh, please more live streams, but not on a Friday because of fishing. Oh, man. Maybe I'll do a vote. I'll do a little vote on the community page and see which works best for the majority of people. Yeah, and we'll go from there. You could do it on the first Friday of the month. Yeah, I could do, actually. I do try and do 5-minute Fridays every Friday, but it doesn't always work out, as you all well know. But yeah, trying to do one. I could replace. I'll have to look at the times. But yeah, leave it with me. I'll figure out the best way of doing stuff. What would you do in my situation? I have an audience. I have only one product, gloves, with a story around them. I don't know if I should build a website or deal with all of those deliveries and so on. Oh, good question. Essentially, you've got two options, haven't you? Either do it yourself, which is cheaper, but then you have more work, or you try and outsource it, and that costs more money, but it's less work. I mean, I'm not really the best person to speak to be honest. I don't have a huge amount of experience doing that. I would see if you can get in touch with someone that's done that sort of thing before and has some real life advice for you. Yeah, that'd be my. Well, I mean, setting up a website is super cheap these days. You know, you can do it on Shopify for not much money at all. So you could set it up and just try it. That'd probably be what I would do. I would just set it up and see how it goes. But yeah, if you can speak to anyone that's done it before, if you know anyone that has experience, that will be definitely the best place to start if you can. Crimson Land, what's up? Thanks for all the hard work. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Love your plugins. Why not adding one more to make a multiple progression bar that could follow YouTube chapters? I've seen people talking about progression bars. I mean, that'd be... I could make a video showing you how to make your own, because that'd be quite simple to do. 3 a.m. Gotta go. See you, Typher. See you later. Started noticing, yeah, I try and do 5-minute Fridays, but sometimes it slips through the net. I've got quite a few videos not made yet, but sort of lined up at least for the month. So hopefully we can be a bit more consistent this month. I am going away for a few days, but hopefully we can get ahead and it'll be fine. Hey, Sable Winters. First time I hear from the San Francisco Bay Area. How you doing? I can't figure out how to capture a still on the free version. Any tips? Capture a still. Oh, like a freeze frame. Like, let me know exactly what you mean. So, like, you can do stills. You can export a still image from the color page. Or if you're trying to do like a freeze frame sort of effect on the timeline, I can show you how to do both of those. Let me know which. There you go. Nan has beat me to it. Todd Sky. Quick node question. What is the difference between parallel and layer nodes? So whoa, that's a complicated question to explain. I'm not the best with the color page, but essentially... How do you explain that? Where's Darren when you need him? To be honest, I don't really use either that much. So I'm not really in a great place to explain. Todd Sky, let me come back to you. I've been meaning to do a tutorial about the color page, like a real sort of beginner's sort of thing. I wonder if Darren's done a video on that. He did an introduction to nodes the other day. I don't think he talks about parallels in that one. I mean, the gist of both is to be able to do different work. It's hard to explain, isn't it? To do grades on two separate things from one thing which don't affect the other, so the results come together, so you can then affect sort of the colors of the highlights and the shadows in two separate ones, and then but it is hard to explain without the years and years of knowledge that some people have. We'll see if there's a fun video. Oh, there you go. It's an old video, but there's a video called You Might Be Wrong, Pro Tips and Newbie Section, When to Use Parallel Nodes. There you go. He'll explain it way better than I can. Tried to use fast noise as a mask on the Fusion page, color page. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. Infusion. Okay, how were you? What were you trying to do exactly? Let me try. Hello, Kaz does edit. How you doing? Yeah, what were you trying to achieve, Ralph? Is the question. Because it just, I mean, like, probably user error. I mean, I'll probably do another few minutes and then I'll shoot off. Nearly at 2 hours now. But thank you all. I've just realised we've still got 50 viewers. So thanks very much, people, for sticking around. I appreciate you. How many downloads do you reckon our timer's had? Me, 44. People that have been watching. Someone asked really quickly, can we draw a mask and track a person? In the free, you can't do any automatic track. Well, you can do a power window. The short answer is no. You can't do any sort of fancy automatic tracking. You can do what's called power windows. So you can do, like, if I just put this around my face, so that's around me there, sort of roughly. And then from this little bar, we go to the tracker, and then we just hit play. It won't do a great job. And it will sort of track, but it's not like the magic masks or anything like that. If you're trying to really cut someone out, you have to rotoscope it manually, and you'd use the same thing. Let me reset that. You'd use the pen tool. Make sure you've got your keyframes on. And it would be a case of, like, you go through and you cut them out and you move frame by frame. Magic masks, yeah, sort of does all that for you. Yeah. Don't worry, Rob. I mean, it's quite good to put. There's lots of, as I say, there's lots of gaps in my knowledge. It's always fun to see what I do know and what I don't. So that's cool. Robert, do you like Mr. Beast as a person? I appreciate his knowledge, but his values are at a minimum. He will accept sponsorship for gambling. I mean, I've only seen bits of what he does. He's giving lots of money away to people that need it, which I don't think is a bad thing, even if it's a funny one, isn't it? It's a funny situation. If you get sponsorships from gambling, but then you give all that money to charities, is that bad? Maybe. Taking from the rich and giving to the poor? I don't know. But I don't know enough about him, really, to know all the ins and outs. Oh, Simon's stole an answer. Good lad. Thank you very much. Have you tried making a green screen effect in the Fusion tab with the Delta key? Simon, it is the way I key most green screens. Works a treat. There you go. Thank you, Simon. I appreciate it. Magic Mask is in the paid version. It is. If you've never seen it, let me show you really quick. This is a Let's get a slightly longer clip. That one will do. You just go squiggle, squiggle, squiggle. Okay, that's a bad one. Squiggle. It will sort of select me. Give that a second to think. It should turn red when it's actually found me. There you go. I think my stream froze for a second because it was using my GPU. And then we can just track this. It's going to run slower because I'm streaming. Ah, that's not too bad. There we go, we've been tracked. Now let's add an alpha output. There you go. It's remarkably good. It was always good, but it just seems to be getting better. It's really good. And that's on the faster rather than the better. So we're trying to use fast noise as a mask going into an ellipse. You wouldn't generally mask an ellipse. You could. But then it wouldn't necessarily, what would you be doing with that? Can't anyway, yeah. If you did it the other way around, you'd only get fast noise within a circle, which if that's what you wanted. Fast noise is weird on the Fusion page. Right, on that note, I think we'll call it a day. So you're saying to do, yeah, I mean, again, it depends on the look that it depends on exactly what you're trying to achieve. So if you're trying to, I'm trying to think what you would be trying to achieve. You can, let me just see if you can do that. Yeah, you do it the other way. Can anyone tell me what folder to drop the timer? Just double click. So download the DRFX file, which it should come as from Ko-fi. Just double click on the DRFX file and it should open up DaVinci Resolve and install it for you. Aren't they both masks? Fast noise isn't, you can use fast noise as a mask, but it's more of an effect, whereas the ellipse is a mask. As an ending for this movie, this live, can you recommend us a movie? Or I watched Bullet Train the other day with Brad Pitt. Quite enjoyed it. It was nonsense. It was just silly action stuff, but it was quite good. So there you go. Bullet Train. I was trying to do what you showed, but why doesn't it work the other way? Because you have to have the mask. You're trying to put a shape around something, so masks work that way. You have to have the shape of the thing going into the effect. So it's sort of like a cookie cutter. You have to sort of stamp things out. You can't do it the other way around. So if you've got an effect, you mask around that to get sort of like a circular fast noise, whatever it may be. So you do it that way. Anyway, that's cool. Thank you all ever so much for watching. Watching me ramble and do all this. This is nonsense. But yeah, thank you all very much. And keep your eye up on the community page because I'll do a post to see when's best to do these lives, and we'll try and make them a slightly more semi-regular kind of thing. So thank you all very much for watching. Hopefully you all enjoy the timer. If you do, please do let me know. If you have any issues, let me know, and I'll see if I can fix them. So there you go. See you later. Thank you. Bye.